Hey everyone, it's the Hey Poopy Podcast. What that booty do from poop to pleasure to health. Hosted by me, Dave.
And me, Ellen, two curious people removing the stigma from your stinker. And why are we doing this? Because we love laughing and learning about butts and helping them to be the best they can be. And on this week's episode, sadly, you just got the two of us because Dave and I have been trying to book you guests and they keep flaking on us.
Yeah, they're just trying to stop us from getting to 200 episodes. We're so close.
We should have done it years ago.
Yeah, but they're
Not
like, you know what?
But...
We'll make them wait a little bit longer.
Exactly.
But it'll happen. The guests will return. But we did a fun little catch up. We did some fun games. Awesome news story.
Yes.
And you get to hear cool little things like this.
And then the second set we were shooting, I could not stop farting. And it was the kind of farts where, like, I wasn't even pushing. I just, like, move, and it would be like... like, I was like, oh, my God, just me twisting or sitting down. Like, farts were coming out. And I had to keep apologizing to my model. And I was like, God. I'm so sorry. I have anxiety when I shoot, and it comes out in farts.
She's like, lucky me.
Yeah, she was very sweet about it. She's like, that's okay. And I was like, but is it?
Yeah.
Is it? It's not okay.
You're like, thanks, but also I don't want to be farting in front of you right now. So yes, even though there's no guest, you get great content, lots of laughs, and, you know, obviously things about butts, farts, humor.
And massive check-ins from Dave and I, just as massive as our shits.
Yes, exactly. They match the size of the shits, so you don't want to miss this one. And we'll be back another time. If you'd like to know more about me and Ellen or the show, visit heypoopypodcast.com, and you can find out all the info about us, the show, and much, much more.
And on to the shit show.
Hey, Poopy, how you doing? Hey, Poopy, how you doing?
I'm just, trying to find a place with like-minded people to talk about like-minded things about me, about poop and stuff.
Hey, Poopy, how you doing? Hey, Poopy, how you doing?
Oh man, what's this right here? Is this a podcast about poop?
Yes, it's a podcast about poop and a lot more.
And buttholes and even more. Hey everybody, it's the Hey Poopy Podcast with
Dave
and Ellen, and this is episode 194, but it'll always be number 2 to us, our favorite number. And oh my God, am I tired, but thank God today you just have the dynamic poo-o.
Yes.
Me and Dave, we've had not one, not two, but 3 cancellations recently, and then I was out of town, and we've been playing you reruns because we don't have a choice in the matter, so we're sorry. Don't blame us, blame the people who keep canceling on us. So
we have a life outside of this. I know it's hard to believe, but we're both
not
also...
until we get a million listeners and start getting paid seriously for this. Sorry, this is a labor of love.
Yeah, so if you want to contribute, please do that, and that we can make it our lives. But we're both very exhausted.
If you want to do us a favor, tell every single one of your friends to listen and leave us reviews and maybe send us some money, like join our Patreon. I don't know.
Just with a bunch of money, and then we'll make it our lives.
Yeah.
But like Ellen mentioned at the top, we're both very tired. Both
long work days.
Yeah, so I don't know how this is gonna go, but you're along for the ride, and we'll see how it goes. But I imagine it'll be pretty fun. So, since it's the two of us, you're gonna hear some stuff. We haven't seen each other in a while, so I'm sure we have a lot of catching up to do. So we'll go into our check-ins, which I'll go first because I imagine Ellen will have something crazy. I took some notes, not notes, but like because I knew I was gonna forget this shit. So
I did also take some notes.
Yeah.
I sat there and I was like,
never take notes.
What do I have to talk about?
Well, one of them was so I have a full-time job, and in that job, I have a bathroom, a really nice bathroom actually, that I use pretty much every day. And so I'm in there doing my business, just sit down, and I'm in the handicap stall because I got a lot of room. I could spread out. And there's someone, all of a sudden I hear a phone. Oh. And I'm like, okay, that's interesting. And then, okay, fine. You hear a phone, happens every once in a while. But this motherfucker picks up the phone, and now he's having a full-on conversation, like meeting. He's like on a meeting. I couldn't recognize his voice, so I couldn't tell who he was at the office, but a full-on conversation. Like I'm taking a shit. He's like, yeah, so I think if we just move some stuff around, we can probably figure out. But like full on scheduling as he's taking a shit. So now at one point now I'm trying to be quiet. And I'm like, oh fuck this, and it's just like massive farts, just like. Now I don't know if they heard this, but I just thought it was the funniest. Also weird. And I just imagine his phone just covered in shit. It's just really disgusting. I'm like, just don't pick up the phone, man. Just.
Yeah, you could just the least you could do is text them. I'm busy. I'll call you.
Yeah, the only thing I could think of, I wouldn't even do that. I'd be like, I am not capable of, or because if it
unless it's an emergency.
I can't imagine anything being that crazy and that you're just taking a shit. Yeah, if you're like, hey, your house is on fire. Oh my god, but that'd be a text. I don't know, but the way he was just talking was very casual. So the only thing I could think of was maybe it wasn't work related. He was looking for another job, and then like he was just in the bathroom, That's the only thing I can think of, but it wasn't. I don't remember exactly what the conversation was, but it didn't seem like that kind of situation. It seemed definitely like a meeting. So, and we have Microsoft software Teams, which is like Slack. It's like an instant messenger or whatever thing. So you can easily jump on and be like, hey guys, sorry, indisposed. I'm going to jump on in 5 minutes. That happens all the time. I have so many meetings. People are like, hey, I'm a little late. I'm in another meeting. I'm taking a shit. Like simple. But this guy picks up his phone and has a full-on conversation, which I thought was odd.
Oh my goodness.
I don't know. I thought it was weird. So that was pretty fun.
There's been many a time where I've been at home on the phone and I'm like, oh, I'm going to shit myself right now. So I have to go and I'll like mute things and I'll like be like, yeah great, mute.
But you're at home.
Yeah.
That's normal. People do that. But like at a public, in an office bathroom, and it's
not when other people can hear in.
And he definitely,
and judge you like Dave is judging you, sir.
I didn't hear him when I came in, and he definitely heard me come in because you can't footsteps, the door opening, me putting like the little paper over the rim. I mean, come on.
Oh lordy.
So that was really funny, and it was a big one. I remember that being like, oh my god, it smells so bad in here, and this guy's on a fucking phone call. So anyway, I thought that was pretty funny.
So what are you doing? I don't know. I smell everybody's shit in here.
Then I think that's either the same week or maybe like, I don't know. I can't remember when this happened, but my wife had texted me at work and was like, oh my God, they fucking turned off the water, which our building never tells us when there was a pipe issue. So they're fixing something. They never tell you. They're just like, water's off. So we know the super pretty well. So we're like, oh, hey, FYI, the water's going to be off for, I don't know, a couple hours. So I'm like, whatever. I was going to work. It wasn't a big deal. So she calls me. She calls me at work. I'm like, what's going on? She's like, oh my God. I had to take a huge shit. And now I forgot the water was off, so I can't flush it. There's no water in the bowl. And so she's like, it's huge. And it's like, hey, is it possible to flush it? I'm like, yeah, you got to like pour water in there. But she couldn't like, the bathrooms, the kitchen, like there was no water to be had. It was like a drizzle.
Which your building should warn you. At least you could fill up your tub and then you could have available water.
Yeah, well, that would be like a normal building. Our building doesn't do anything like that. So she had to sit there with us, this giant. She's like, oh my God, it's so big, and it was just so funny because we were laughing our asses off. I thought that was really funny. But there's like zero water flow.
That's the sign of a very healthy relationship.
Yeah. It was pretty funny.
That's a sign of a healthy relationship.
Yeah. I thought it was pretty hilarious.
The fact that you could laugh at it.
Yeah. She was like, I don't know what to do. And I'm like,
but what is she supposed to do?
No, it's just, hey, can you? I think initially she was like, oh, how do I flush this without any? I'm like, well, you got to get water in there. And I'm like, but she's like, my guess is you can't get enough water to put it in there. It'll take you like hours to put like a little drizzle of water to like even come close. She's like, it's big. It's not going to flush. I'm like, well, you got to wait. So she did, and then finally went down. She got nervous it wouldn't flush, but it did. I thought it was the funniest fucking thing ever. And it was like 2-3 hours, like just sitting in there. So I'm like, I'm so glad I wasn't
probably
home.
Stinking up the place.
I'm so glad. I should probably put a candle on so that at least masked some of it. But,
yeah, but still, it smells like candle and poop.
Sitting there. Yeah, poop always wins. Always wins. But other than that, like nothing noteworthy other than those two things. I had a couple really big ass shits and like really gassy lately, which I'm never really I'm been like super gassy. This is 2 weeks ago, but now it's like kind of back to normal. But other than those two funny things, I thought were kind of interesting. Nothing really. Oh, one more thing. I didn't take a picture of it because like my nerve pain had come back, and I was so annoyed that I couldn't deal with it. But I was walking through the subway. This is like a week or two ago, and I turned the corner downstairs, and there was shit, like a pile of shit in the corner of the subway station on the first landing, and it's like so high up the wall too, but it's like a huge mound of it. And I just like, because there's a methadone clinic near us, and I think junkies come down there to smoke crack, or like, you know, every once in a while they just nod out down there, and I'm guessing like someone just took a mess. It was so gross, and it's kind of cleaned up, but it's still like this. The remnants of it are still there. And yeah, you just kind of, it's one of those things, live in New York, you're like, Jesus Christ, this place is
I want to interview
disgusting.
that person who has to clean the subway shits.
It's the worst.
Like,
the worst job.
Yeah.
I would rather be a jizz mopper than I think a shit mopper. If I had to choose, like, those are all both awful, but I think I'd rather do the jizz because at least, I don't know, it's not as.
I was talking to a 20-year-old today, and she said that her grandfather was like, "You should become a plumber," and she was like, "I'd probably be really good at it," and I was like, "Yeah, except for you have to deal with shit," and she's like, "Yeah, that part I don't want to do."
Yeah, agreed. But I wonder if it's like being like a garbage man. Like, I met someone a long time ago who was like, worked as a garbage man. They're like, yeah, the first like month or two was awful because you can't get used to the smell. But then after a while, you get so used to it that it literally doesn't bother you anymore. And those guys make a fucking ton of money.
Yeah, yeah.
And their pension is insane.
I told Commodore, who was on the show, that like after my cat got sick and cost me way too much money, I was like, I might need to apprentice under you and start becoming
do a trade job.
Plumber. Yeah, I'm like, I need some fucking money.
Fucking looking back, I would definitely go back to school. I would just graduate high school and get a trade job because people, like, they retire at 45. Like 50, they're like done.
They make six figures doing really good work.
There's a really great photographer that usually shoots down at Coney named Gene Kinish. He's really cool. Shout out Gene. We talk, we see each other here and there, and then he was telling me his whole story, and he's like, yeah, he's a retired waste management guy, and I think he's like 50, maybe, like, who knows? And like, he's got his pension is like insanity, and I think he started when he was like 19, 20. He's probably making six figures before he retired, and then he's cool. I just do this photography stuff for fun. I always liked it, but now I'm kind of just do it like for fun. And I think the wait list.
I did the opposite. I'm doing photography and like struggling.
Yeah, I really would like to be a welder, maybe, or plumbing. I would do that. Fuck it. Those guys make a shit ton of money.
I also want to know that stuff, so when things break, I can fix it. Like I feel so like infantile that I can't do normal things to fix stuff, you know?
I fixed my lamp and I was like hi, this is amazing. I just want to fix lamps all day because I'm like, because electricity I get terrified with, and I couldn't believe I did it. And for a month I was like, don't plug that lamp in. I was like, when we're not home, just unplug it, because I got really nervous. And meanwhile, it's like probably the simplest fucking thing.
Yeah, what if you fucked it up and it sets in fire? But
I'm like, that's been a couple of years now, so I think we're okay. But still, I'm like, Jesus Christ, this is amazing. I want to know how to do this. So make a podcast. We'll switch the podcast up and be like, we're learning how to do trades now. Anyway, oh my God, I'm like delirious.
Ugh. So my check-in is today. I pooped before I went on a photo shoot. It was like one of those poops where at first it was great and I was like, cool, like nice, clean Bristol 4. And then I stood up and I was like, ooh, I've got more in there. I got to go again. So I like went back, sat down. And when I went to wipe, I was like, well, why is there so much poo in between my cheeks? Like, it was just not a Bristol 4. It was just like I whoopie pied and my cheeks were still spread apart. I was like, what the fuck? I was like, oh, thank God this is before my shower. Yeah. I look like a baby who shit its diaper. And so then I got to the shoot. Everything was fine. And we stopped for lunch and I had a big salad. And then the second set we were shooting, I could not stop farting. And it was the kind of farts where like I wasn't even pushing. I just like move and it would be like, like I was like, oh my God, just me twisting or sitting down, like farts were coming out, and I had to keep apologizing to my model, and I was like, I'm so sorry, I have anxiety when I shoot and it comes out in farts.
She's like, lucky me.
Yeah, she was very sweet about it. She's like, that's okay. And I was like, but is it? But is it? It's not okay.
You're like, thanks, but also I don't want to be farting in front of you right now.
Yeah. And then on Saturday, I went to Hump Festival, which we were in last year. Award winning. We won an award. But I went to Hump Festival, had a fucking blast because I took mushrooms.
Oh, yeah. That always makes it a blast.
Yeah.
It's an instant party.
It makes everything great. And so then I got home that night at like midnight and totally took like a before bed poo. I had a great bed poo. It was like Bristol 4. I was like, that was gorgeous. I can't believe I just shit. But it was obviously the mushrooms were like, let me poo.
Yeah.
And then the next day I woke up and I could not stop shitting. Like
Wow.
the mushrooms were pushing everything out of me. I was like, oh my God. Like, and I have had mushrooms many a times in my life, but this was the first time in a while where it was like evacuation city. And I was like, I'm not mad at it, but I'm also like, what is like, I don't even think I eat this much food for all this shit to come out of me.
Did you like shit before when you took them? Like, did you shit the day of, like after? Like
Yeah, I've been pretty regular recently, but yeah, I took it that night. We started, my friend Frank, who's been on the show, Frank, the life coach, he was like, do you want to do mushrooms? I was like, sure. So he ground up mushrooms and weighed it. Like a coffee grounder, weighed it, and then put it in electrolyte packs.
Oh, okay.
And then we dumped the electrolytes into a bottle of water and you just shake it up and just have a sip here and there. It was a brilliant way to take mushrooms. But we both at the end of the movie had the exact same amount left. And we're like, let's just chug it. Fuck it.
Yeah.
And we chugged it and we're sitting at a bar and I was like, woo!
Yeah. Oh my God. That's kind of awesome.
But it was like, it was like almost like what is it called when it's time controlled? Like
time released.
Yeah, it was like time released. It was like a fabulous experience. But it did make one of the films where they were making cheese off of people's bacteria made me insanely nauseous. I was like, I'm
That's
gonna
so
throw
fucking
up. I'm
disgusting.
gonna throw up.
That's so disgusting.
Yeah, that film should not have been in the festival. Yeah, I could have done without it.
Oh, that's awful.
Yeah. And that was the last one. And I kept turning to my friends and I was like, I'm going to throw up. I'm gonna throw up. I was like, no. And they were like, it's not that bad. And I was like,
that's pretty bad.
It is. Yeast and sex do not go together. It doesn't go together. And they kept saying the yeast on bodies. I was like, no yeast, no yeast.
God damn, that's disgusting.
Awful.
Ugh.
Yeah. But
schmegma.
otherwise, the festival still touring. People check it out. Hump Film Festival. It was a lot of the films were amazing and funny and fun. So
Nice.
yeah.
I had tickets as well. I did not go because I wasn't feeling well. And now after you told me about the yeast cheesy shit, if I saw that, I would have thrown up. Like I probably would have thrown up at the end. And I was definitely pretty high too that day. I was like, I gotta get high. I need something to take my mind off of not being like shitty. I wasn't on mushrooms though, but that would have been awesome. Also,
Yeah.
I've done the coffee ground, like my mushrooms and everything. I never weigh anything. I just like grab them and like just start eating them. Like it's very adult that Frank was like, I'm just like, oh yeah, this is like enough, right? And then I'm like, whoa, I'm like really high right now.
Yeah, he was like, had it measured out and he's like, it's a little more than a microdose, but it's not going to fuck us up and like do it this way. And I was like, and I literally introduced him to mushrooms back in like December. I was like, have you ever taken mushrooms? He's like, no. And I was like, it'd be great for you. And then all of a sudden he's become more of an aficionado than I have. And I was like, brilliant. You're brilliant.
Never measure anything. I just take them. I just take them and I'm like, we'll see what happens. And it's usually like,
I'm the
whoa.
same. I'm like, a little bite here. Yep.
Yeah.
Let's see how I feel.
Yeah.
I'll keep biting later on.
I take a bunch up front. Then I'm like, okay, this is good for now. And then I just take a little bit later. And then the next thing I know, I'm like, I'm tripping my balls off. So,
yeah, we were at a bar and I like turned to my friend and was like, do you want some mushrooms? And this random guy walks up and he goes, can I ask, wait, what's going on here? And I was like, oh my God, are you going to be like some kind of narc?
Yeah, exactly.
And he's like, no, I love mushrooms. I'm just curious how you're drinking them that way. And so Frank broke down his whole science to it. And I was like,
to this day, the two times we've had him, the best was a friend of Ellen and I, we both know, who made this amazing like mushroom shots, like hot chocolate shots.
Yes.
Those were like, to this day, the best delivery system I've ever. It was so great. You didn't taste anything mushroomy. No residue, just pure like delight. And then he did what was the other one he did? Like a Jello one he did.
Ooh.
That was equally as delicious and fucked me up. Like I definitely have had those mushroom shits where you're like, whoa. Well, you're like just sitting on the you're sitting on the toilet like, I am so high right now, and I have to go. Like your stomach's just like, ooh, it needs to get out. Like it just needs to get out. And then I get more high. I feel like I get more high.
Yeah,
as I evacuate.
I'm not mad at the purge.
Yeah. It's a lot. It's only gets annoying when you're like at a party or something. You're like not at your house or like you're out and about. You're like, oh man, I gotta take a shit. And it's like, sorry, I'm gonna blow up your bathroom, but I'm really high too, so this might take a while. Do not expect me to come out of this bathroom anytime soon.
I also today, a good friend of mine is moving to Berlin.
Oh shit!
And posted something last week about getting rid of their plants. So I went by her apartment to pick up some of her plants, and then she was like, "Do you want any like dominatrix stuff or whatever?" And I was like, "Yeah, sure." She's like, "I'm getting rid of a bunch of stuff." I was like, "Awesome." And so I stopped by her place today, and she gave me like 5 huge things of containers of like towels and cleaning supplies. She's like, "I don't need this stuff anymore." But she gave me a container with like floggers and paddles and whips in it. And then like, all of a sudden at the bottom was about 6 different kinds of butt plugs. And I looked at it, and the like metal ones I know I can sanitize, but the other ones I was like,
yeah, I can't really do much of that.
I don't know what to do with used butt plugs.
You're like holding it like by the tips of your fingers. You might want to. You can keep these. Like the other ones I definitely can get away with, but this, I don't know. You're like, I don't need it that bad.
Yeah.
You're like, I'm not
interesting.
You're like, I'm not that on a budget. Oh my god, that's hilarious.
I was like, yeah. So I now am the proud owner of a bunch of used butt plugs.
Nice. You should put them on Craigslist.
Which I thought was very, with the shit that I've seen on, there's like somebody who reads Amazon Marketplace listings.
Lightly used.
One lady like crocheted around her butt plugs to make cat toys. And I was like, nope. Yeah. Nope. That doesn't work.
That's just like, you have too much time on your hands. Like, crocheting is already long, but it's like, for that, you're like, come on.
But recalling it cat toys when it looks like a butt plug, I'm like,
no,
I judge you.
No thanks. Oh my
also,
God.
my algorithm to my Instagram, if I ever go down reels, is only poop, fart, and butt related. Like it literally has fed into, and I've been finding so much amazing content that I've been sharing on Hey Poopy's stories. There was one that I shared today that was so funny. This guy's like, I don't want to talk to you anymore. And he does this like weird thing with his legs and farted in his friend's face. She goes, did you just fart? And he's like, I'm out of here. And I was like, what is going on?
Oh my God. The algorithm knows.
I love the internet.
The algorithm knows.
It does.
Sometimes you need that to wash the day away.
Yeah, just give me fart and poop stuff so I can share it with y'all.
Yeah,
it's so good.
That's funny.
And then when I was staying with a friend of mine in LA, we decided one night because we were just exhausted to just watch The Woman King and have some sushi and like chill under some blankets and just like have like a very chill night. Yeah. And both her and I, after our sushi, I like turned to do something and farts just started coming.
Oh my God.
Like crazy. And I was like, oh my God, sorry. I just totally farted really loud. And then she went to start falling asleep. Like we were both so tired. And she started falling asleep and started farting in her sleep. Oh my God. Started blasting off in her sleep. And I was like, you just farted.
Oh my God. My wife farts in her sleep all the time. I mean, I'm not gonna like do, but it happens.
I'm not gonna out this person because they're a sexy porn star. But the fact that they kept farting, I was like, if only the world knew that this is what you do in your free time.
I had a friend, a good friend, and she farted in front of me. She's like, oh my God. I'm like, I think we've known each other long enough where this is the part of our relationship where it's okay if you fart. What am I going to do? You fart. It's not that I ever thought you didn't fart. But it was just funny. She's like, I guess we're closer now because now I'm just blasting away. I'm like, it sounded like a zipper was opening. I was like, oh.
I love that.
Yeah, it was really weird. I was like, oh, that sounded so bizarre. She's like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. I'm like, it's all right. I go, it's cool. I know women do fart.
The model I was shooting today brought her boyfriend, which a lot of the times when models bring boyfriends. I'm like, oh God, no.
Yeah.
He ended up being the nicest,
Oh, cool.
he was like such a cheerleader of hers. He was like, I can't wait to see these pictures. I love her. Like, and he was just a sweetheart. And then they started talking and he was like, yeah, I had her shave my asshole once because we were doing a sex party and I wanted to make sure that I was hairless back there because we were like performing at a sex party.
Yeah.
And I was like, was your farts louder because of it? And he was like, I don't remember. He's like, oh, I gotta try that again.
Oh my God.
And then I was like, was it easier to wipe? And he was like, that's true. It was much easier to wipe. And he goes, and then I sat there in the shower and I was touching my own butthole. And he was like, oh, usually there's so much hair in the way. It's so nice to be able to just touch my own butthole. And we were discussing about how like there's straight men out there that don't clean their own butthole because they think that it's gay to touch their own buttholes. And I was like, it's just insane. It's called hygiene. It doesn't make you sexually attracted to the same sex
that
to
person
clean your own ass.
That person is probably gay, by the way.
Yeah, yeah.
Like there's no question.
That's the littlest thing that prevents you from being gay, cleaning your own butthole. You're gay.
They're gay.
Yeah.
They just can't admit it yet. I'm lucky. I'm lucky. I don't have a ton of hair back there. Jesus Christ, I couldn't imagine like even thinking that. Oh, like just.
Yeah, but like if you were cleaning your butthole in the normal and then really realized how much hair was blocking.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah. I'm lucky. Knock on wood. Lucky in that department. Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
I have like.
And then I started talking about the podcast in front of him, and I was like, I know a lot about buttholes. Yeah. And then he was like, what's the craziest thing you've ever heard on the podcast? And I started telling him about laxative, people who are addicted to laxatives. And he's like, oh, I've heard about that before. And I was like, wait, hold my beer. And I said, no, then we had a colorectal surgeon on who told us that your colon turns black. And he can tell it goes from pink to black. And he was like, what? Yeah. And I was like, I know.
Disgusting.
I know.
Oh, I was trying to forget about that. But yeah, that's like the black hole, literally the black hole. Oh my God, that's so disgusting.
Yeah. I was like, you can't hide your laxative dependency from doctors.
It's like, hey,
going up in there.
Do you like laxatives? Oh, no. Like, well, this picture tells me different.
Yeah.
Because it's dark down there.
I did Google it too, and I saw a black colon. It is intense. I mean, it's not like black as the night, but it's like
it's dark
and discolored.
So gross.
Yeah.
That's gross. There's, I feel like if you're addicted to laxatives, like you probably have a pretty okay life. I feel like that's like a weird, like, you know what I mean? That's like a weird addiction to have. I don't know. Like, I'm more.
But some people, it's like a reverse bulimia. It's
I guess
they want to lose weight, so they do that.
Yeah, I don't know.
But okay, let's just say I came to you and I said, oh my God, my pinky turned black. You would say, that's called, it's dead. It needs to be cut off.
Gangrene.
You know? Yeah. Like no human body should turn that color.
Yeah. Ugh.
No organ, anything with that. Like, to me, I just think like it doesn't work anymore.
Yeah, it's bad. Yeah. I mean, part of the problem too is you can't see it, so I'm sure they're probably like, I feel great, but it's if a doctor's, hey, your canal is fucking black, you'd be like, what?
But they can't feel that great if they need like 50 and 100 laxatives a day.
But it's like anything else, I guess. Like you just keep taking it to the point where you're like, I need to have this. I can't function. It's like you get the DTs.
Insane. It's insane.
Yeah, I mean, there's weird shit. Weird shit.
Oy. Literally.
Yeah, that's fucking weird shit. Oh my God.
Ay.
Well, that was, I like the catch up. That was a nice little catch up. What's been going on?
My epic check-in of everything I've been going through recently.
We've gone through a lot, and it's good to catch up.
I have been talking to people about possibly shitting on paying partners to pay for my cat's medical bill.
Oh my God. I mean, look, we'll have to talk about it. We'll cover it. We're like, Ellen is now.
Yeah, and I had a dominatrix friend was like, I'll make some phone calls for you. And I was like, you have no idea how close I feel about doing this. Like, I feel like if I were to do it, I would need
be
to
changed.
Tandem. No, like tandem with another dom.
Right,
and like watch them do it first and be like, all right, maybe I got it in me. I just can't go like by myself solo and be like, I'm here to shit on you.
You need like a what do you call it? Oh my god, what's the word I'm looking for? You need a mentor.
Yeah. I need somebody to show me the ropes.
Yeah, or you can practice on like on those like CPR dummies first.
Yes, yeah. Like, can I actually do this?
Yeah,
and then what do I have to do? Like, get a latex glove and shove it down your throat?
God.
Like, what do I have to do?
Holy shit.
What are the steps to make this happen?
I think I would throw up if I saw that. I think I would definitely throw up. Like, I can't even handle my own shit.
You don't want me to. Want me to tell you.
I mean, as long as I'm not seeing it, you can tell me that. I just can't see it. If I saw that, I would pass out. I think. I can barely handle my own shit, let alone seeing someone else's.
That's why I would like to see another Dom do it first and be like, do I have the guts to do
That's hardcore, man. No judgments or anything. But that's fucking like that's. Woo. But hey, maybe you're really good at it. Maybe you'd be really good at it.
Maybe I've been flushing this stuff down the toilet and like wasting money. You know,
maybe you're like
my bills have just doubled. I have
maybe you're like the
shit going on.
You're like the Michael Phelps of. Or
and like technically, my shit at this point is famous thanks to this podcast. Like I'm
it wouldn't be that
it's
crazy.
Premium.
It wouldn't be that crazy of a jump. So
it's premium.
You know. Woo! Oh my god. Well,
just eat some mushrooms and shit on people and get it over with.
Oh my god.
I also met somebody last week that I think I had told you, and he was telling me that he's listening to the podcast and that he's sharing it with friends. And I was like, yeah, keep doing it. But then he also like turned to me and he goes, what is your obsession with shit? And I was like, it's not just shit, it's buttholes. I love everything that the butthole does. Like, give me some credit here. Yeah, like if you listen to the show.
Like it started off as just like funny shit stories, and then it's just kind of ballooned into something else. But like, you know, yeah, we're not like into the shit, but like I don't want to necessarily hear or see about your shit all the time. It's related, so it happens.
That's why I'm not sure if I could do it. Like, can I shit on somebody? You know,
mean, it'd be like anything else. You probably do it a few times, and you're like, whatever, I got this. It's just willing.
Once you get that money in your hand, it's like,
you're like, fuck it.
Oh, yeah.
You know, people want to be shit on. You know, just Jesus Christ. Thank God.
Wasting my money.
Thank God I didn't have that. I couldn't imagine. It would be like my worst, like, oh God, I'd hate myself so much. And I know people like that stuff, whatever. I'm sorry, but I couldn't like even imagine if that was like my thing. But anyway, if you do it, awesome. You have your own show to talk about it, so you can promote, advertise. It'd be great.
Probably get some stalkers out of it. It'll be perfect.
You definitely get some clients. You definitely get some clients for sure. Stalker clients.
If anybody out there wants me to shit on them,
there's a number.
I'm honestly thinking about it.
There's a number. I have a number. It's a lot though. I'm just saying. Like I don't know. There's got to be one person.
You have cash in hand.
Yeah. If there's like a weird Saudi prince that wants someone like a guy to shit on him, we could talk. There's a number. It's a big number. It's a really high number because that number is gonna basically. I'm done. Like I'm done with it. You're not gonna hear about from me. You're not gonna hear from me anymore.
You won't be reporting on the podcast.
No, there won't be. There'll be podcasts. Like I'm gonna be sitting on a beach somewhere in an undisclosed location for the rest of my life. That's what's gonna take.
I love whenever we do an episode of just the two of us. It always comes down to this. Like, how much money would it take?
Like, I mean, so much money.
I'm like $1,000 a pop. Let's do this. Let's pay off these vet bills. I'm here for it.
I'm talking one and done, like one massive. Like, well, I'll be look. If it's the right number, I'll stay.
If you can't make a massive shit?
Oh, I'll make sure. I will 100% make sure that happens. I will eat everything in sight, hold it in, and just fucking unleash it with like as many laxatives, whatever I got to do to get it out. It's coming out. Like there's no fucking. It's gonna happen. So
fury.
Yeah, I'll give the person what they want. Like 100%. As long as that check clears and it's in my bank account, we're good.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, and one last thing, I got this in the mail.
Devrom. What's Devrom for the listeners at home?
It's those fart pills that make your fart smell less stinky. It's like the rose one.
Did you send away for that, or did someone just send it to you?
I think I messaged them and they said they were going to send me a free sample.
Oh, cool.
And this was like a year ago. And
you finally got them? Nice.
Yeah, and I would like opened it and I was like, oh yeah.
Yeah.
Ah, yes, I know.
Oh my God, that's so funny. Okay, well, Devrom, thanks for sending those pills a year later, but okay, cool.
Yeah. I should have taken them today so I would stop farting in front of my poor model.
Shit.
Oh, yeah.
They would have smelled like whatever that's supposed to smell like.
Yeah.
All right. Nice. I like that. So it's just the two of us. So we do it shitty choices?
Sure.
Okay. We'll do a little...
In the news?
Shitty choices. Okay. Would you rather... This actually is apropos because we talked a couple of days ago. This is sort of like Hump Fest related, but not Hump Fest related, but okay. Would you rather dive into a pool of piss or a pool of blood? Full on giant pool filled with piss or blood?
Can I ask some follow-up questions?
Okay.
Who's blood and who's pee-pee?
It's an unknown. You're just at someone's house like, hey, there's a pool of piss. Unknown, like there's a pool of piss and a pool of blood.
And how long has it been sitting there?
I mean, I don't know.
Is it fresh or is it
okay?
2
We'll go
weeks old?
for the sake of this. We'll say it's fresh.
Oh, I like the fresh element.
Like we're talking like maybe like half hour has gone by.
I think I would do pee-pee then.
Okay.
Only because I feel like fresh, to fill up that much of a pool of pee-pee, it will be probably watered down. And fresh pee-pee is not as stinky as old pee-pee. So I think I could handle it. Versus fresh blood. Blood might feel nice to be bathed in, but I'm very curious to where it's been. Does it have STIs in it? Am I going
in this
to have
scenario,
to get tested?
we're not, there's no, in this scenario, it's just like, blood, piss. There's nothing such as like STIs or anything like that. It's more like just
okay. Yeah, but like, is the blood, if it's cow blood, maybe
human.
I'd be okay with that. Human, it has to be human. Okay.
Yeah, human piss,
I go
human blood.
Fresh pee-pee.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't know even how to answer this one because I was like, they're both awful. I guess I'd go with piss because I feel like blood's like just gonna like be. It's like the viscosity of it's like thicker. And it's kind of got like, it's just going to be like, and that's the irony smell I can't stand. I mean, I hate piss smell too, but I figure piss I could at least like, I don't know, wash off easier. I don't know. I never dove into a pool full of piss or blood.
It is way easier to wash off piss than blood. I will tell you that.
Yeah, closer to water. So I figure that's at least, I can handle that. But yeah, I would go with the piss too. Oh my God, it's disgusting.
But a lot of piss would probably not be that stinky. These really hydrated people, their pee-pee's not that stinky.
I'm picturing like a hue of piss.
Where it smells like Cheerios?
Yeah, not someone who's been drinking like 64 ounces of water a day. I'm talking like, like you're like, that's really yellow piss. So, okay, 2 for piss. Hopefully you're out there listening. You'll choose one you like. I think it's going to go to piss. Unless there's people that like actually blood fetishists out there.
Yeah. I would be, if I feel like being in a pool full of blood might be better.
It probably feels better.
But I just want to know how clean the butt is.
Yeah. You think those movies people are covered in blood. I'm like, oh, it just so sticks to you. It's just all over the place. That's what I don't like. So
I did a photo shoot years ago where a guy took cow blood and put it all over the back of his shower. And not only did it stain his shower horribly, but it smelled so bad.
Oh, yeah.
Like it smelled like rotten meat.
Oh, yeah. That's
why I'm like freshness.
Yeah, I'm going to go.
Is a factor.
Oh, yeah. In this case, both fresh, but I'm going with fresh piss. Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh my God.
It's a little too irony.
All right. So we're getting some news. And this thing is pretty recent because a friend of mine from my old running group just ran the Boston Marathon. Shout out Daniel. He did very well. It's a very hard marathon to get into. You have to be really, really fast. And I believe it ends uphill, which is like fucking torturous. I hate when races do that shit. Let's go run 26 miles and we're going to end it uphill. But anyway, headline. Boston Marathon runner caught pooping in stranger's yard in doorbell video.
Oh.
So this just happened. If you gotta go, you gotta go. A Boston Marathon runner was caught on a doorbell camera Monday, dropping their shorts in someone's front lawn in order to relieve themselves during a 26.2-mile race, which does happen. Like, you do have to shit sometimes when you run, but that's just fucking crazy. Could you imagine? You're like, is someone shitting on my lawn right now? Like, so 30,000
on this show. It's not the first, and it won't be the last.
Definitely the first. But this happened in Hopkinton, Massachusetts, to downtown Boston. 30,000 marathoners. Oof. And this guy, at least one runner, just couldn't wait. There's a video. They're standing in the far corner of a front lawn, dropping their pants and squat. I'm looking at the photo right now. It's hilarious. It's just like a guy sitting there in the corner of someone's yard, popping a squat, taking a shit.
Ooh, I need to see this picture.
Yeah. I'm going to send you the picture right now, actually. Hold on. Excuse me. It is wild, man. I mean, it's funny. And it looks like there's either like an official or someone like that lives there just looking at them. So it's wild. But yeah, there was. Oh my God, this is so fucking funny.
Ooh.
Yeah. And a spectator walks down to the front path and sees them sitting there and they're staring at each other. And then once the runner's done, pulls their shorts up and then they just take off back onto the marathon course.
I'm looking at the whole video and picture. It looks like they found a safe place to do it where it's not in the view of everybody, but it still was in the view of the camera.
Oh yeah. Oof. But still enough. That's crazy. Someone had to go that bad. Also, it's like, if I got to go that bad, like, I think the race is done. You know,
I agree with you there, but also, where's the porta potties? Like, obviously, maybe they don't have enough porta potties.
I'm guessing, like it says here, it starts at this place called I don't know, I have no where Hopkinton, Massachusetts is, but it ends in the downtown Boston. So I'm assuming they're just not putting. I'm assuming the suburban people in that area don't want to see porta potties on their streets. Probably.
But the trade-off is, do they want porta potties in their yard? So suck it up, Boston.
I don't know.
Suck it up.
I can see people complaining about that. Like, we can't have that. I don't want that on my lawn. Fuck that in my yard or my street. But, you know,
suck it up.
This is what happens.
Yeah.
The New York Marathon, there was plenty of porta potties along the route. So, but yeah, this is fucking hilarious. This, again, cameras everywhere. You can't escape it. Like, you're gonna get caught. And this is anyway, yeah, of course, like on Reddit, people were making tons of jokes, Twitter, you know, everybody just talking like, that was my fucking lawn. It's like, you weren't gonna do shit either, so relax. Because like, if you saw some guy shitting on your lawn, what are you gonna do? Run up to him? Like, no.
You're going to let him finish, and you're going to get the hose, and you're going to be done with it.
Because you don't want to go anywhere near someone taking a shit in real life. It's just not happening.
Yeah. Stop your judgments, people, because you have not been there, and when you are, people will judge you.
Yeah. I guess the race officials were like, please respect the communities throughout the Boston Marathon runs by taking advantage of these facilities if needed. Officials insist there clearly some runners missed the memo. So apparently they did have areas, but it says toilets are located at every water and medical station on the course. So this guy was like, fuck that, I gotta go now.
Oof.
Which I know that feeling, because like when you're in between stations, it's just like, it's panic time.
Yeah.
You know, so I get it. But side note, the winners for the men and women, 2 hours, 5 minutes, 54 seconds, 2 hours, 21 minutes, 38 seconds. That is insane.
Wow.
26 miles in 2 hours and 5 minutes. That's fucking crazy. And they did not use a bath. They did not use a lawn to take a shit.
Wow.
In case you were wondering. But yeah, that, again, the New York Post, thank you. I hate your newspaper, but your poop section is like, just keeps on giving. It's like amazing.
I'd like to say it's number one, but it's more like number two.
I feel like at this point we should work for the New York Post. We'll just find like, you know,
maybe we should just be like, hey guys, you should hire us.
Yeah. Like, we'll look for these dumbass stories and put them in. All these are just
shit aficionados.
They're just links from other stories. It's not like they're like, oh my God, we're hot in the scene. That's like, this is like a link from some other thing, you know? So we can do that.
Yeah, I'm down.
You know, fuck it. But yeah, I thought that was really funny. That was a good story. And hopefully we'll be having a guest next time we talk. If not, though, you're going to get some good content with the two of us. Yeah. Regardless.
I've been trying to book.
Yeah.
I am like literally talking to a handful of people. I even found this truck when I was in traffic, and the truck basically, let me see if I can find Snake Guys. I saw a truck in traffic called Snake Guys, and they snake out your toilets and stuff. And I emailed them. I was like, do you guys want to come on the podcast? They haven't answered me yet, but
That's so funny.
I was like, ooh, Snake Guys. They need to come on.
Snake Eyes. Nice.
Yeah.
All right, Snake Eyes. We'll have you on.
Not eyes, guys.
No, I said guys. I know. I was saying
Yeah.
Snake Eyes initially, but I was like Snake Guys.
Oh, yeah.
Snake Guys. Please
Yes.
come on the show. That'd be great.
Yeah.
Well, another one of the books. We're getting closer to 200. Thanks for listening. Thanks for laughing, learning everything but with us.
And happy pooping, everybody, and enjoy your butthole.
For more info, go to heypoopypodcast.com or email us at heypoopypodcast@gmail.com. You can send in show ideas, guest requests. Check us out on Twitter at heypoopy, Instagram at heypoopypodcast, TikTok, heypoopypodcast, and our awesome new Facebook fan page. Go check it out at heypoopypodcast. We're also on Discord at heypoopydumps, or you can contact us at our new awesome hotline, 203-998-5579.
Hey Poopy Podcast is brought to you by Perfect for Entertainment. Produced by Dave and Ellen. Edited by Dave. Executive producer Stormy Leather. Theme song by Jordan Perlson. Hey Poopy!